Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another daily cryptocurrency market update. What a wild 24 hours it has been. We've seen so much going on, and today we're going to be covering a lot of that. You know, this sort of market, you can call it a crash, you can call it a pullback, retracement, was very promptly timed after yesterday's daily cryptocurrency market update, where we even used a thumbnail of a muscular bull holding up the crypto space. It's the nature of the beast, guys. I've been in markets long enough to understand that that's how this game goes. And ultimately, I don't think there's been a time in crypto where there's been this much fear, uncertainty, and doubt as today and what's recently going on. We're getting it from all angles: the macro, the regulatory, the legal, the everything, the price action. Right now, there's probably more fear, uncertainty, and doubt than even prior to Luna crashing and prior to FTX. That's how much is still there. And in yesterday's video, we kind of spoke about why I'm bullish on the cryptocurrency market at this point, and I still am. You've got to remember, guys, that we got out the market, and what we're trying to do here is invest. And we're going to drop down the time. We're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at all the news and everything that's taken place. We got out here, and we invested again for the first time here. And rode all this up, and now we've had this retracement. Could turn into more than a retracement. We've always said that, we're not guaranteeing the bottom is in. We're just taking a stab at guessing where the bottom for the cryptocurrency may be and allocating capital. There's a real risk to being sidelined, as I'm sure many people have found out. And now that the price is selling off, the bears are all over it. However, it may be too soon for them to claim victory. Certainly the price is elevated from here, but we will talk about it. So there's lots going on. This was a mainstream headline. More than $70 billion wiped off a crypto market in the past 24 hours as Bitcoin drops 8% below $20,000. And we're currently still below $20,000. It's a non-farm payroll today, guys, so that's going to give a kind of macro slant on things, the dollar, the yields. And we want to see that not support the dollar and actually support the risk markets. Again, we've seen from February, and it's why we focus so much on the channel, a repricing, right? So you've had rates go like this in terms of implied, and then with the sort of revised inflationary data, rates are looking like this, right? Now, if we get that lower data, they may come back down to the medium, and we may see markets do quite well off that. But CPI is next week, so I don't really want to focus on that. I really want to focus on what's happened over the past 24 hours and then look at Bitcoin and give some of my thoughts on it all. The sell-off that we've got is very symptomatic in terms of brutality of the environment that we're in. And it's a low liquid environment where markets can't get that tap of liquidity from the central banks. So they're having to find it elsewhere. Now, if you notice yesterday, Bitcoin actually sold off more so than altcoins. This to me indicates that there's a player out there that needed liquidity and they sold spot Bitcoin. And that's what caused this. It caused liquidations and so on and so forth. And like I say, Bitcoin, given the kind of FUD storm that it's under, and a lot of the FUD is actually warranted because we've got things of Silvergate, which is a genuine concern, because they were literally like how crypto institutions transferred money to one another. They essentially have shut down their Send network, which is an issue. And then you've got the other bank in question that the banks moved to, like Coinbase, and how they're going to do. So there's lots going on right now. There's a sort of regulatory crusade taking place. I actually believe that regulations are bullish for the cryptocurrency market, but you're going to have teething problems within that. This is a market that I'm trying to invest in, and so are you guys. That isn't even a market yet. There's a market for it, but it's not an established market that's regulated and has all the big players in it. That's coming, and was one of the topic of yesterday's videos. Regardless of this pullback, which, by the way, was always on the cards. We looked at the fib levels. We said you can come down to the 0.382. We've also drawn the head and shoulders, look for invalidation on that. This is a pattern that's in play until it isn't. It's not great that you've had this kind of a severity forming the right shoulder. But that's the nature of the beast, guys, unfortunately. Certainly in the low liquid environment that we're in, with a lack of sort of willing buyers until there's reasons to do so. So this is still in play. You wouldn't want to see this ran particularly. Otherwise, you'd kind of somewhat invalidate it because your right shoulder would then be larger than your left. And you want to see there's already a lot of strength in this sort of armpit down, which isn't too great. But we will see what happens. This shoulder could take a while to form out. It's still in play until it isn't. The main things to watch are the dollar and everything else, and that's largely going to depend on the macroeconomic data. Of course, non-farm payroll today, and then a lot else going on. This was what happened yesterday, actually, in the traditional financial world, and this is banks, guys. You can see SVB Finance Group, 46% down. All banks got absolutely killed, including JP Morgan. And this is why we've actually said I think the Fed pivot a lot sooner than people think, right? We're watching the 2-year yields. That would be nice. But I do see a div here. It does look like it's running out of steam to me, like it did over here. And then I'd like to see this roll. And ultimately, the markets would benefit greatly off of the 2-year rolling. And I think this does roll because I don't think the Fed can continue to do what they're doing. It's why I think they still do a 25 basis points, providing the CPI comes out decent. Because ultimately, they're running out of runway. They are going to implode the entire financial system. You're going to see mass defaults. We're already seeing records in bankruptcies if they continue on the warpath that they're on. We know why they're on that warpath. But you're already starting to see cracks show. So this is Peter Fields, Founders Fund, advises companies to withdraw money from Silicon Valley Bank. So this is SVB. 60% down. It looks like we've got a kind of actual bank run on our hands, and we'll see what the repercussions of all this are. And remember, you're trying to invest in crypto in a time when the macro is this is the hardest environment I've ever had to invest in, and I've only been in the market 6 years. I've heard also from many people that this is the hardest they have. It's not an excuse. Ultimately, we're in this to win this, guys. We have a plan. We're still sticking to it until there's reason not to. And for the Elliotians out there, so I'm not a massive fan of Elliott wave theory on the small time frames. I'm yet to, and if you know a profitable Elliott wave trader, genuinely profitable that can prove it, let me know. For those Elliott wave theory guys out there, this could be something that you're sort of, obviously your third would be the largest. This could be the second wave retracement into the third. There could be something like this playing out. This would tie in with the head and shoulders. And of course, we believe that once you get past this 25k range, you're going straight up and above 30. But this is very much part and parcel and very symptomatic to the kind of conditions that we're in. Remember, guys, we did actually pin a tweet that we did at the start of the year. This is the 11th of January. Bitcoin was only at 17k. We, with my Patreons, looked at the market on the 5th and actually made the decision to start buying again. And the price was around about 15k. But we've been right thus far, and all the reasons why we stated why we believe the markets, or this is the best time that we've seen to invest, since we got out here, all still stand in my opinion. And that's regardless of all the FUD and sort of, downright onslaught that's taking place with the cryptocurrency market. It can be very hard to be a cryptocurrency channel, a market channel, certainly in times like this when it's very uncertain. There's a lot of kind of bragging from the bears coming on Twitter after being absolutely wrecked this whole run, and now they're claiming victory even though the price hasn't made all new lows. But we'll see what happens, guys. This is just really a short and sweet one. I'm still processing a lot of this. I still stand with my bullish bias, and I'm going to stick my neck out at a time when no one else is really there alongside with me. Say that I think there's a damn good chance that crypto does well this year. And I'm going to roll with the punches. We're going to take the good and the bad, and we're going to look for upside out of this. This is still the play until it isn't. Forgetting the Elliott wave theory, that was just something interesting I thought I'd show in there. And remember, this is all macro. We'll see what's on the horizon. Guys, if you've enjoyed this video, if you appreciate this content daily, let me know in the comment section. It's a tough market, but I'm determined to get through it, and I know you guys are as well. And at the end of the day, guys, you don't invest in things when it's plain sailing and smooth, like up here. That's how you get left holding a bag that's 80% down. You got to remember, my baptism of fire, my introduction into the cryptocurrency market as an investor was through this time period here. Look at how choppy this was. And actually, I've achieved a level of financial freedom that at one point didn't seem achievable through being an investor during this time period and looking for the upside. believing in this technology, believing in this market that is yet to even become a market. And I'm still there today. In fact, I'm even more convinced of the journey that the cryptocurrency market is on. So all I've got for you guys. Happy Friday. Try and enjoy it. Don't let markets get you down too much. And that is the trick. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Again, if you can like the video and comment, it's greatly appreciated. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gents.